Hello and welcome to our web chat on your personal brand, what Treasury professionals need to know. We are joined by Mike Richards, CEO and founder of Treasury Recruitment Company, who's been in the business for many years. How long have you been in the business, Mike?
Well, it feels like 20 years plus. Always been in recruitment and really enjoy it.
So we will be discussing the 5 key actions in your personal brand and what Treasury professionals need to know.
Yeah.
But why is this important, Mike? It seems obvious.
Well, you say it's obvious to you and I, because we're out there in the public light. A lot of treasurers, sometimes their roles are internally focused and they're working with, a lot of the guys within their companies. And you need to look externally as well. I mean, to use a phrase from Jeff Bezos from back in Amazon, he said, your brand is what other people say about you before you actually get in the room, when you're not there. And when you and I probably started, when I started 20 years ago, we used to call it reputation, and now it's taken on this phrase of your personal brand. You took many years in the past to build it up and everything else. Now with a digital footprint as it stands, it can be built up, but it can be ruined in seconds. And it's about how you make your personal brand powerful.
Okay, so your first slide talks about creating a powerful headline.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I think before you go into that, one of the key things is making your personal brand powerful so that when, say, your key stakeholders come onto your powerful headline in your LinkedIn profile, for instance, they know who you are. They know who you are in the company. You're able to target your audience, if you like, both internally, externally. When people are looking for you across the web and they're looking at you on LinkedIn, it might be other channels as well. Because if you're hiring or you yourself are wanting to be recruited, over 60% of people are likely to make a hiring decision based upon what they've read about you within social media. And then that's going to inform their hiring decision. And people say, well, I'm not looking for a job, Mike. Why do I need it? Well, that's all right. But what if someone is looking for a job to work with you? And so, that's one of the things. You need to make sure that you can be found, but also that it's powerful, that someone comes to your profile and says, actually, that's the person I want to work for or maybe work with. And, so you've got to have an idea about it all the time.
Okay, and so it's a continual thing. It's not a getting ready for now I want another job. It's all the time.
Yeah, correct. And I remember reading a couple of articles last year before I was giving a speech, and there was one of these ladies in social media said, "Oh, you need to review it every week." I was like, "Crumbs! I'm in Treasury recruitment. I don't look at mine every week." I think a good rule of thumb is every 3 or 4 months. Just review it, see what you need to do to improve. Are there better things you can do? As you've got in the picture there, have you given a really good speech? Were you a keynote speaker? You really developed your cash management knowledge? Well, tell people about it. Put those bits on your profile as well, but include them in your headline so it's something that grabs their attention.
So that's part of making your summary shine in a way.
It is. It leads into it because that's your hook, if you like. And then some people actually leave their summary blank, which is the worst thing you can do because they're not going to get to know you. And if you want someone to be interested, they need to read that and have, understand why you're different to the next person. Be authentic in there. The last thing you want to do, spoke about it in Chicago and did about these buzzwords, which were the worst words, 5 most overused. One of them was passionate. Another was creative. We don't want creative accountants. That's wrong since the Enron days. What you need to do is actually write in the first person. So make sure it's not saying, Mike, he's a great guy. No, say what you feel you're strong at. And don't make it general. Actually make it specific. Maybe use numbers to back up your results. So say, this is, I implemented this cash management project and we've saved the company X amount. Because when someone's reading that or goes to your profile, they're going to go, actually, that's someone I want to connect to or actually even reach out to. Maybe they've got an opportunity or maybe they want you as part of their peer group. You never know.
So The next stage is
Oh, love that
to
photo.
do a photo. I mean, I know what you mean, but
Well, I think what it is it's your virtual handshake. It's your reaching out from the screen. It's your digital handshake, and it's your first impression. And there's many.
I would
people
leave
that,
mine blank because I'm not very proud of my image.
Well, I disagree. I think you're rugged, good-looking, experienced Treasury guy, but that is just me, just being nice for the camera. But no, joking aside, it's, as you say, it's not about having a laugh and a beer photo. I'll give you a practical example. So I was speaking at the Belgian Treasurers Conference, and Patrick, lovely guy, who said, "Mike, not the most photogenic." I said, "Well, neither am I, Patrick." He said, "Well, no, I don't have a photo. I don't feel comfortable." I said, "Look, which bank meeting did you last walk into? And when you walked into the meeting, you went, 'Hi, I'm Patrick.' And then your banking partners, you're thinking, 'Who are you?' Actually, what's more powerful is to have nice, friendly, approachable, or what you want to be. You know, give them that sort of chance to get to know you before you've walked in the room, just as Bezos said."
Yeah, I do agree. The photos are absolutely critical, but should you really ask for recommendations?
Well, again, yes, you should. I mean, when was the last time? I say this again. You go onto Amazon. Perhaps you go to buy something. You start to look at the product. You look at your latest headset. You look at someone you want to get to know. Well, actually, what do? Let's use Amazon as the example. First thing you look at is the stars. You say, "Oh, actually 5 stars," or a couple of comments or things like that. Well, that's exactly the same as when you go on someone's profile. You want to know you can trust them. And people say, "Well, I'm not so sure that's true." Well, if you look at those stars and you look at those recommendations from people, have you met any of those people? Well, no, of course you haven't. What you've done is they're similar people to yourself and you want to trust in them. Well, if you're looking at your LinkedIn profile, for instance, and you've asked someone for a recommendation, one of the key things about that is you want them to, you can get to know them through those recommendations. And the other bit with that is, who do you ask?
That's a huge question, who to ask.
Well, one of the things I would say is don't ask the guy sitting next to you or lady sitting next to you, because hopefully they're going to say good things about you anyway. Otherwise, you're going to be probably contacting me sooner rather than later. But those guys are going to say nice things because, they want lunch bought for them tomorrow. Rather, what I would say, who should you ask? Well, it can be your boss or an ex-boss, or it can be someone that's maybe worked for you that you've mentored before, because they're going to be able to comment about you as a person. Are you a great coach and a great leader to them? Or are you someone that was able to accept coaching and actually improved yourself through it?
Now, the problem with LinkedIn and various other social network media is, how do you connect wisely? You've got this
Right.
fifth step, and it is critically important. I automatically say yes because I need more readers on my site. But how, on a personal level, when you're a treasurer, how do you differentiate?
I think this is where you get your filters out, if you like. When someone tries to connect with me, I don't always connect. And so when a treasurer says, this person's reaching out to me, I would perhaps put your filter in place and say, can you help that person or can they help you? And unless either of those, if you don't connect, don't worry. They don't get a letter of rejection saying this person hates you. They don't actually know. It doesn't actually say this person rejected your request. I would say, the people that I connect with in particular will be within Treasury. They'll be within the areas that we cover. So that's, regionally and things like that, rather than just willy-nilly saying, yes, please connect. No, thank you. Just connecting to everyone, because otherwise you're going to have a network of people that actually isn't valuable to you. And also it's not valuable to them. What you want is a peer group, which you can share ideas with. If you're looking at a new treasury management system or doing something with cash, you might want to reach out to one of those guys and actually say, Can you help me? Can you give me some advice? So I think it's about trying to get some decent advice and making sure it's a powerful network.
So that's very, very important, and there's a lot of good ideas there, but my worry is, won't everybody look the same? I can see who's been coached and who hasn't. Where's the individual?
Well, I think firstly, everyone is different. But so for a start, so everyone is at different stages in their career. No person is, each individual is different. So that you're going to get Treasury analysts showing what they've done with certain parts of their careers, deputy treasurers, assistants going for that #1 job, group treasurers looking to expand their experience. So everyone's going to have a different background, if you like, and a different thing to say. And there's lots of different ways you can say it. You can say it with articles, you can say it with your recommendations, and you're not going to become an amalgam of everything, really.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. Thanks, Mike.
Pleasure. Thanks, Jack.